Okay, so good afternoon. So start natin yung ating discussion, ano? So we have the college algebra or simply algebra. So we have two meetings for these math subjects, ano? So ngayon, start natin algebra. So ano ba yung pag-usapan natin pagka kay algebra, no? So actually pagka algebra, so yun yung basic natin, kumbaga fundamental of all mathematics. So dito tayo tinuruan kung paano mag-create, mag-analyze, mag-simplify ng ating mga mathematical problems or mathematical expressions. So babalikan na lang natin lahat ng mga topic under algebra as we try to solve this given problem. So nababasa naman siguro, no? Lah, nababasa, no? Nag-off lang yung aking screen. Okay. So, balikan natin yung mga problems o yung mga principles dun sa ating algebra as we try to solve this given review problems. So, kumbaga, before ko siya i-solve, so balikan lang natin ano ba yung mga topic o ano ba yung mga principle na pwede nating i-consider in solving for this given problem. Okay? So, try natin yung number 1. So, nababasa naman, ano? Kita pa naman yung aking pin-repair na problem. So, number 1, solve for the possible value of x plus y for the given equation. That is, if 8 raised to x equal to 2 raised to the quantity of y plus 2 and 16 raised to the quantity of 3x minus y, close quantity equals 4y. So, what would be the value of x plus y? So, para ma-solve natin yan, ano, babalikan lang natin isa sa pinaka-important law pagdating sa mathematics. Although madali lang naman ito, usually, ginagamit natin yan to simplify mathematical expression. So, tawag nga natin that is the law of exponent, ano? Yeah. So, we have the law of exponent. So, usually, ginagamit natin yan to simplify mathematical expressions na usually na-encounter natin in solving certain mathematical problem. So, marami tayong law of exponent but here, babalikan natin yung gagamitin nating theorems or law pagdating dyan. So, alam natin, no? If we try to multiply same bases with different exponent, so ano lang ginagawa natin, ano? We try to copy the base, then you just add the corresponding exponent. Then, gagamitin din natin dyan. So, if we have a certain base that is raised to exponent, then it is raised to another exponent. So, pwede natin sabihin, exponent raised to exponent. So we usually multiply the given corresponding exponent. So same also dyan, no? Doon sa first, kapag ka nag-divide ka, so division and multiplication are just reverse process. So almost similar or parehas lang yung ating ginagamit pagdating doon. So dyan kay number 1, no? Para ma-solve natin yan, you may analyze kung anong klaseng equation meron tayo rito. So, ang tawag natin dyan is identity equation. Pag sinabing identity equation, dapat kung ano yung nasa left side, it should be similar or the same at the right side. So, para maging identity yan, so the main concept is you have to make bases should be similar and exponent should be similar. So, kailangan parehas yung base, parehas yung exponent. So, if you try to consider yung first equation na binigay sa atin, yun, ano? So, you may notice that the base of the left side of the equation, it is divisible or factorable by the base at the right side. So, ibig sabihin, si 8 is factorable or divisible by 2. So, you may express 8 in terms of 2. So, kung ilalagay natin siya rito, ano kapatid? So, 8 raised to x, 8 it is also 2 times 2 times 2, which is also equal kanino? 2 raised to 3. Then, naka-raise kay x by exponent raised to exponent. So, pwede ko siyang gawin as what? 2 raised to 3x, which is now equal kanina 2 raised to the quantity of y plus 2. So at this case, nakita na natin, no, we have noticed that bases are now equal. So we conclude, no, for these two given equations should be equal, exponent should be the same also. So at that case, bases are equal, exponent should be equal. So you just conclude that the value of exponent of the left side part of our equation 3x, it should be equal to the exponent at the right side, which is y plus 2. So you may consider that this given equation, sabihin natin as our equation 1. Okay? Then same matter, no, same analysis ang gagawin natin do sa second part of the equation. No, yung second equation na binigay sa atin, ito siya. So you have also noticed that 16 is divisible or factorable by 4. So pwede nating sabihin ngayon, no, 16, it is also what? 4 squared. Exponent raised to exponent. So multiply na lang natin yung original exponent niya na 3x minus y. Okay? Which is equal sa right side na 4 raised to y. So again, you have noticed, no, we have found out that bases are equal. So again, para maging identity equation yan, exponent should be equal. So the exponent of the left side, so distribute na natin yung 2. So we could have what? No? 6x minus 2y equal na lang kanino? 4y. So at this case, no, tama ba? 6x, ba't naka 4y pa ako? It should be only y na lang, ano? Nasama ko pa yung base niya. Burahin ko na lang yung 4 na yun. It should be only y na lang, exponent. So, in this case, no, pag tinranspose natin, then divide, we have found out that 2x, it is simply equal kanino? Y. This will serve as our second equation. So, meron tayong two equations to unknown. Ano na lang gagawin natin? So, gawin na lang natin, ano, kunin ko ito, ipasok ko dito ng dahan-dahan. So, let us substitute equation 2 to our equation 1, which conclude that the final answer, no, pag sinab natin, ito na siya. You have now 3x equal the value of y in terms of 2x plus 2. So, we found out x is equal kanina. Now, x, that is simply, ilan siya? 2. Which conclude, y, based on the second equation, that is only equal kanino? 4. Ano hinahanap ng problem? What would be the value of x plus y? So, therefore, we found out that is what? 6. So, that should be the answer. Anong letter ito, kapatid? Baligtaran. Okay? So, that is under law of exponent. Okay? Nakasunod ba, kapatid? Nakasunod ba? Okay lang? So, tanong ko lang, ano, kasi ang main concern ko dyan is yung internet speed natin. So, minsan kasi baka nadidelay yung labas ng aking pagkakasulat. Okay lang ba? Hindi masyadong delay sa inyo? May comment nyo na lang, no? Nakikita ko naman yung chat nyo rito, nag-a-appear sa akin. Okay lang? Hindi masyadong delay yung dating sa inyo? Okay, sir, kaso po medyo malabo ng kaunti. So kung ang gamit natin is cellphone, medyo maliit ang lalabas sa inyo, no? Or depende doon sa resolution ng gamit nating gadget. Dito naman sa aking dito sa gamit kong extra screen dun sa aking cellphone, medyo maliwanag din naman. So nababasa ko pa naman. So siguro try nyong lakihan lang yung ano. Okay. So ayun nga, magbabari lang ng konti depende doon sa gamit nating gadgets, ano. But anyway, no. since ano naman, so naka-record naman ako dito in case medyo malabo. So magse-send din naman ako ng recording. So makakita niyo ulit doon. So medyo maliwanag naman dito. Okay? So kung may tanong lang kayo, just comment, no? Lagay niyo lang sa chat. So nakikita ko naman, nababasa ko naman. Okay? So may tanong ba doon kay problem number 1? So that is only under law of exponent. So kinonsidered ko na lang yung dalawang exponent na ginamit natin or the two of the law of exponent, but actually marami yan, ano? So that is just simplifying mathematical equation. Okay? So iwanan ko yung number 1. Let us try number 2. So dito ko na lang ilagay yung solution ng number 2, ano? So if the value of 4 raised to the quantity 2x plus 1 closed quantity is equal to 1024, find the value of 4 raised to x. So, pakisuyo na lang din, ano? So, in case yung andito sa atin, labas din kayo ng calcu para in case, no? Kasi wala akong hawak na calcu. So, yung mga values na, kasi ngayon ko lang din ito solve. So, para mapindot natin yung mga values na hindi ko kayang i-manual ang computation, ano? Okay. So, we have the corresponding equation for raised to 2x plus 1 equal to 1024. So if we try to analyze it, simplified it using the law of exponent, no, ito yung gagamitin natin doon. Alam natin, no, multiplying same base, add the exponent. So we could actually, by parts, that the left side of the equation, it should be 4 raised to 2x, naka-multiplied kanino? 4, which is equal kay 1024. Tama ba, no? So, we could now divide 1024 kay 4. So, 1000 divided by 4 is 250. 24 over 4 is 6. So, this is 256. Tama ba? So, meron tayo ngayong 4 raised to 2x equal to 256. Now, we just divide 1024 by 4. Now, to solve for 4 raised to x, so kita ko na sa left side, para hindi ko na lang habulin yung value ng x, using the second law of exponent na ginamit natin kanina, I could rewrite the left side as what? 4 raised to x, closed quantity, squared. Tama ba, no? They're just the same. Na nire-write ko lang yung equation, which is now equal kanina, no? 2, 5, 6. So therefore, I have now 4 raised to x. That is only the square root of what? 256. So if I'm not mistaken, 256 is a perfect square which is equivalent kanino? 16. Tama ba? Kindly counter check using your calculator that square root of 256. Tama, no? Square root of 256, that is simply 16. So at that case, even without solving for the value of x, I conclude that the 4 raised to x is equal to 16. So anong letter yan, kapatid? So again, this is baligtaran. Okay? Nakuha ba, kapatid? Any question regarding that law of exponent? No? Kayang-kaya yan. Alam ko naman, magagaling yung mga taga-LPU na yan. Eh. Mga top-notcher tayo dyan. Eh. So, kuhang-kuha yan. Okay? May tanong ba? Any question regarding the first two problem? So, that is only under law of exponent. Okay tayo doon? Okay lang, ano? So, pwede kong iwanan yung ating problem number 2. So, let us try solve yung ating next problem. No? Taas ko na lang. Ayan. Medyo may delay lang ng konti. Ano? So, antayin ko lang yung delay. Okay. So, number 3. So, we have the logarithmic equation. Determine the value of y. So, since high-tech yung ating calculator, however, no? Very unfortunate sa CBIL, no? Sa CBIL, so hindi ko alam kung anong nangyari, bakit ganon ang nangyari sa kapalaran ng CBIL pagdating sa board exam. So medyo naging low-tech na, no? So binabaan pa yung technology ng allowed na calculator. So, hindi ko pa nababrowse kung kaya ba ito nung calculator diretso doon sa allowed sa inyo. However, sa ibang course, diretso lang ito kay calculator. Saktong-sakto yan, especially sa EE. Kasi medyo high-tech pa yung gamit namin calcu. However, sa inyo, sigurado naman ako that you are aware kung anong nangyari doon. Okay, so before natin isolve si problem number 3, so gusto kong balikan yung ating logarithms. So para magamit at alam natin kung paano mag-simplify ng logarithmic equation, so kailangan alam natin yung property. Property of logarithms. So, property of logarithms, para lang din ito yung law of exponent natin. So, these are the different principles na pwede nating i-apply in order to simplify logarithmic equations. So, marami yan, Marami tayong property of logarithm. So, babalikan ko na lang muna rito yung gagamitin nating property of logarithm, So, you have, let's say, the logarithm of m plus logarithm of n. So, addition of logarithm. Anong condition yan? No, you may apply only this one if they have the same bases. Alam natin, we have several bases for logarithm. So, unless otherwise specified, unless otherwise stated sa problem, we are dealing with same bases. So, nasa problem naman kasi kapag nandoon yung different bases. So, usually, makikita natin ang bases ng ating logarithm. So, andyan siya sa baba ng letter G. So kapag walang nakalagay dyan, automatic anong base natin, no? Pagka logarithm, automatic the base is what? 10 pag walang naka-specified. So itong property of logarithm, it is applicable for logarithm having same bases. No, kailangan parehas sila ng bases. Pag hindi parehas ang bases, we cannot apply this one. So that is also logarithm of m times n. No? So, addition of logarithm is equivalent to multiplication. So, yung counterpart niyan, subtraction is division. So, hindi ko na muna sasama dito since di natin siya gagamitin. Another property na pwede natin magamit sa problem dyan, that is logarithm of any variable or any number a naka-raise kanino? Raise to any exponent n. Now, logarithm of a, that is a constant, n, that is also constant, that only considered as exponent. So, pwede natin sabihin, we may bring down the exponent and you have logarithm of that constant a. So, you have the logarithm n, logarithm of a. Another property na pwede natin balikan is that logarithm of a. Pakimute lang, i-mute na lang natin muna, Bigla-bigla. Sige ako na. Okay? So, logarithm of A base D. So, in that case, pwede natin gawin yan. Tawag natin yan change of base. You have logarithm of A. I-divide mo yan kanino? Logarithm of B. So, those are some. Some lang yan, So, marami tayong property of logarithm. So, ang nilalagay ko lang dito, yung gagamitin natin to solve for this corresponding problem. Okay? So, try natin yung number 3. So, you have y raised to 6 equal to logarithm of 4 raised to 3 raised to logarithm of 4 raised to 3 base 2 base 2. Okay. So, para mas madali natin makita, I'll just use substitution. Now, I just let this value as another variable. So, anong ibig ko sabihin, Lagay ko rito for number 3. So, you just let that the value of logarithm of 4 raise 3 base 2, I just say that is what? X. Okay? So, sabihin natin that is simply X. Therefore, if we may now consider that is X, I can rewrite this equation. So, if you try to look, this value is X. This value is also what? X. So, therefore, this is simply what? X raised to X. That is now the value of our Y raised to 6. Tama ba? So, sir, bakit nyo ginanyan? So, para mas madali na lang na after we have found the value of X, makikita na natin kung anong value ng Y. Okay? So, paano natin kukunin yan? So, let us just try to analyze this given equation. Using the third logarithm property, pwede kong sabihin na yung ating left side of the equation, left side, ano kapatid? Using the third property, so I could say this is logarithm of 4 raised to 3, nakadivide kanino? Logarithm of 2, which is equal kanina yan? X. Tama, no? Using this third property. Therefore, if we try to cross-multiply, no? I-cross-multiply ko dito yan, we may found out that the logarithm of 4 raised to 3, it is equal kanina, X logarithm of 2. Tama? Then, sa left side, parang kanina kapatid, doon sa previous problem, para mas madali natin makita yan, this is equal, so this is identity equation. So, kailangan kung anong base, parehas, kung anong exponent, parehas. So, dito kapatid, sa right side, the logarithm is just simply 2. That is the base. So, we could now express 4 in terms of what? 2. Tama ba? So, we could say at the left side, this is also equivalent to logarithm of 2 times 2, that is 4, or simply 2 square, naka-raise kay 3. So, exponent raised to exponent, multiply, so 2 times 3, it will resolve into what? 6. So, sundan, ano? Yung 4, ginawa natin, no? Itong base na 4 na to, ginawa nating 2 squared. Naka-raise ulit kay 3. So, under law of exponent, exponent raised exponent, multiplied. So, we come up with logarithm of 2 raised to 6. Okay. Sa right side naman, kapatid, using the second logarithmic property, I can use this value. I can use this x as the exponent of our 2. So, kapag nire-write natin dyan, you have now logarithm of 2 raised to x. Now, try to compare the equation. Di ba? Tulad sabi natin, this should be identity. So, kailangan parehas na parehas. So, we have equate. Logarithm. Okay? Then, 2 is the base. 2 is also base. So, therefore, we conclude 6 should be equal kanino? X. Nakuha? Alam na natin ngayon si X. Therefore, yung ating original equation na y raised to 6, after the substitution, we found out that is x raised to x, which is equal kanino? 6 raised to 6. Okay, obviously now, y, it is only equal kanino? 6. So, that should be the answer. Anong letter yan, kapatid? Nagets ba? So, this is cuts time. Okay? So, any question regarding problem number 3? So, take note, ano? Si logarithm, no, hindi lalayo ang property niyan dun sa ating exponent. No? Palagi magkasama yan. No? Si logarithm at saka si law of exponent. Okay? Nakuha ba, kapatid? Any question regarding that particular problem? Okay tayo doon? May tanong ba? Any question regarding problem number 3? Nakakasunod kapatid? Okay lang tayo doon? Okay. Sa iwanan ko yung number 3, ano? Try natin yung problem number 4. Ano tago? Yan. So, dito ko ilagay si number 4. For problem 4, again, that is just logarithmic equation. Find the value of a known x in the given logarithmic equation. You have logarithm of 6 plus x log of 4 is equal to the logarithm of 4 plus the logarithm of the quantity. So, we have property of logarithm here. So, tingnan muna natin itong nasa left side, no? Focus first here sa left side, no? Ito muna tayo. So, you have addition. Pag addition, you may apply the first property. However, ano, kung papansinin nyo, kailangan ang multiplier ng dalawang logarithm to be multiplied or the sum of two logarithm is converted into multiplication if they have the same coefficient here. Kailangan parehas yan ng coefficient. Pag walang nakalagay na coefficient dyan, that is automatic 1. Okay? Pero doon sa ating problem, doon sa ating x log of 4, we have a coefficient of x. So, hindi natin pwede sila agad pagsamahin unless matanggal natin doon sino? X. Paano natin tatanggalin yung x doon? We may remove that value of x using the second property. We may use x here as the exponent of what? 4. Pwede nating ilagay yan exponent ng 4. Dahil nandun na sa exponent ng 4, pwede na natin silang pagsamahin. So, ito na ang lalabas doon. Ano? So, you have logarithm of 6 plus logarithm of what? 4 raised to x. Ginawa ko na exponent. Now, equal sa right side, sulat ko lang, logarithm of 4 plus logarithm of the quantity 32 plus 4 raised to x. Oops. Hindi naging x. 4 raised to x. Yan. Okay. Same coefficient, same basis, addition by the first property. So, we may rewrite the equation as logarithm of 6 naka-multiplied kanina. 4 raised to x. Same also at the right side. You may write the equation as logarithm of 4 naka-multiplied kay 32 plus what? 4 raised to x. Yan. So you have now, again, an equation having same log. Sir, anong gagawin natin sa dun sa log na yan? So tandaan mo kapatid, pag nakakita ka ng dalawang itlog, no? Dalawang itlog, parehas ang base, you may cancel it out. Basagin mo na lang yung dalawang itlog na yan. Yan, tanggalin mo. Or just simply apply antilog. Sir, ano po yung antilog na binabanggit ninyo? Or antilog, no? That is also a property of logarithm. Sir, ano po yun? Ito yun, ano? If you have 10 raised to logarithm of any number or variable, sabihin natin is x, this is also equal kanina. X na lang. So, ibig sabihin, matatanggal yung ating logarithm. Sir, bakit po natanggal? Kasi ang base ng ating logarithm, that is 10. No? Okay? So, ang base kasi ng ating logarithm, that is 10. Which is also the same as your natural logarithm. Diba, naalala? E raised to log of x, that is also equal kanina, x. So, dito, sa equation ko, dahil pares lang na logarithm, hindi ko na lang pinakita na antilog. Ahaba na lang doon. Anong gagawin mo? Kung pares lang naman ang base niyan, E di basagin mo na lang, tanggalin mo. So, ito na lalabas na equation. After removing the logarithm symbol, left side of the equation reduces 6 multiplied kanina 4 raised to x. Sa right side, we may distribute, no? Kasi multiplication lang naman yan. Distribute na lang natin. So, I could have 4 times 32 plus 4 multiplied kanina. 4 raised to x. Tama, no? Next thing, let us just combine similar terms. O, sino ba yung magkamukha dyan? So, I can transpose this equation here. No? Transpose natin dyan kasi similar lang naman. So, we may consider now 6 minus 4. So, matitira na lang doon after transposing. You have 2. Oh, malaki yung 2 ko. We have 2 multiplied kanina lang. 4 raised to x. Equal na lang. So, 4 times 32. 4 times 32. So, yung 4, iwanan ko yung 2. Kasi 4 is 2 times 2. Yung isang 2, i-multiplied ko kanina. 32. No? So, 32 times 2, that is 64. 2. Alam natin kapatid, na ang 64 is exactly divisible by 4. Tama? So, 64 is also 4 times 4 times 4. Tama ba? Which is also equal kanina. 4 raised to 3. Okay, kapatid. Palagay ko nakikita mo na ito. No? So, bumalik lang ulit tayo sa law of exponent. Try to compare. Try to inspect. Obviously, I can conclude now that the value of x is simply equal kanino kapatid? 3. Ayun na ang final answer. Nakuha ba? Any questions kapatid? Anong letter yon? So that is arriba. So may tanong ba kapatid? Any questions? Nakakasunod pa ba? Okay lang? Nakakasunod tayo kapatid? Nakakasunod tayo doon sa ating discussions, no? Property of logarithm muna tayo. So medyo mabagalan ko lang talaga ng konti, no, para hindi masyadong nahuhuli yung sulat doon sa binabanggit ko. Minsan kasi medyo may delay ng konti. Okay? So any question regarding that particular problem? So yung aking camera kasi is nandito sa mismong gadget na gamit ko kaya hindi rin ako kita. Sa kabila lang. Okay? So, any question regarding problem 3 and 4? That is under property of logarithms. No? So, tanong lang kapatid, just follow-up questions. What are the two types of logarithm? Sige nga kapatid, paki-comment nga kung naalala. Kindly comment, plus 5 sa board exam. Kunya, no? Plus 5 sa board exam. What are the two types of logarithm? Naalala nyo? Sige nga kapatid, kindly comment, two types of logarithm. Ano na yung mga two types of logarithm natin na alam, kapatid? Sige nga. Para pagka nag-send ako ng questionnaire kay sir, alam ko kung paano ko i-base yung mga tanong. No? Yeah. Common and natural. Okay? So, common and natural. Galing. Very good. So, common is also the other term for what? No? Common logarithm is also known as what? Follow-up question. What is the other term for common logarithm? Follow-up question lang, no? Logarithm of the base. What base? Yeah, no? So, other term for common logarithm. No, common logarithm is the logarithm of base 10. But there is other term used to represent that is common logarithm. Yeah. Common logarithm is logarithm of base 10. Yeah. Other term, no? So, what is the other term for common logarithm? Start with B, as in baboy. As in boy. So, what is the other term for common logarithm? Anyone? Malay nyo, bigla lumabas sa evaluation nyo. No? At least, meron na kayong idea. No? Siguro naman na ano na rin kayo ni Sir Arnel, no? Kami lang magbibigay kami ng sets of questions, but still sila sir pa rin ang bahalang mag-pick or pumili kung alin sa mga isa-send naming bank of questions ang gagamitin nila at kung i-edit pa nila or kung babaguhin, no? Okay, so other term, standard logarithm, no? So wala tayong standard logarithm. Start with B, boy, as in boy. That is based on the surname of the mathematician who first developed the logarithm. That is Henry Briggs. BRI, yan, tama. So that is also known as Briggian logarithm. So that is also same with, no, natural logarithm. So the other term for natural logarithm, that is based on the surname of mathematician who also developed the natural logarithm, which is John Napier. Kaya yung ating natural logarithm, it is also known as Napirian logarithm, based on the surname of John Napier. Okay? So just a recall, no? Kasi alam naman natin ngayon, mga board exam, may ano yan, may mga objectives, no? Okay? So, iwanan ko si problem number 3 and 4. So, any questions? May mga tanong pa ba kayo regarding the logarithms? Baka may gusto kayong i-clarify. Clear naman tayo. So, no further questions or violent reaction. Pwede ko nang ilipat, ano? Okay. Number 5. So, number 5, that is also a logarithm. Ano? So, for problem number 5, binigay dyan, ano? If the logarithm of 2 can be expressed as x and logarithm of 3 can be expressed as y, so try express the logarithm of 1.2 in terms of x and y. For number 5, dito ko ilagay, ano? Based sa problem, if logarithm of 2 can be x and logarithm of 3 can be expressed as y. So, ang hinahanap sa atin, try to evaluate the logarithm of 1.2 and express the answer in terms of mathematical equation wherein the variable is x and y. And siya, no? In terms of x and y. So, paano natin gagawin yan? How we could apply or how we could express logarithm of 1.2 in terms of x and y. So, the idea, in order to have x, you have to get a quantity of log of 2, same also with log of 3, which is equal to y. So, first thing to do, you try to factor 1.2 in terms of 2 and 3. No? You have to factor 1.2 in terms of 2 and 3 so that we can have the value of x and y out of that given factor. Yun nga lang, ano? The question is, 1.2 is smaller than 2 and 3. So, how we could factor 1.2 in terms of 2 and 3? So, let us try to enlarge the given number or 1.2, express it first into its rational value. No, pag sinabi lang nating rational value, so that is a given number expressed as the ratio of two different number. So we may express 1.2 in terms of its rational value. So pwede natin sigurong express it as simply 12 over kanina 10. No? Tama, no? 12 over 10 is also 1.2. So that is one of the rational value of 1.2. Simplified, no? Madali na lang siya. So in that case, pwede na nating applyan ng property of logarithm. So division, no? Kung babalikan natin, if you divide, that is also equivalent to subtraction, no? So log of 12 minus logarithm of 10. Tama, no? Naalala, kapatid? Naalala ba yan? So, alam na natin Even without calculator, logarithm of 10, it is always 1. Okay. So, at this case, medyo madali na yung ating goal. Anong goal natin? Makita dapat si 2 and 3. Wherein 12 now is factorable by 2 and 3. So, gagamitan na lang natin ng factoring. Okay? So, log of 12, pwede yan as 3 times 2 times 2. Or simply 2 times 2 is 4, or simply 2 squared, which is 4 na nakamultiply kay 3. That is our 12 minus 1. Yung 1 natin, that is the logarithm of 10. Now, if you try to recall yung ating ginamit kaninang property of logarithm, pag multiplication, it is also the same as what? Addition. So, logarithm of 2 squared plus logarithm of what? 3 minus 1. Okay. So, lumiliwanag na yung ating problem. We have already seen that logarithm of 3 and logarithm of 2. So, at this case, using the second property na ginamit natin kanina, pwede nating i-bring down yung exponent here so that we have the equation of 2 log of 2. Oops. Ito na. Yan. Oh, sulat na mahaba. Okay. So, we have, wala yung ating problem. Balik ko. Okay. So, we have 2 log of 2 plus, you have now log of 3 minus 1. So, therefore, we can conclude now that the logarithm of 1.2, it is equal now 2. Log of 2, according to the problem, is x plus log of 3, according to problem, oh, why? Nag-triangle ka? Is y minus 1. So, that should be our final answer. That is the value of logarithm of 1.2 in terms of x and y. So, anong letter yan, kapatid? So, we could say this is cut style. Ay, nagets ba? Nakuha ba, kapatid? Any question regarding problem number 5? No? May tanong ba kay number 5? Any questions? Any questions, kapatid, regarding problem number 5? So, that is under logarithm problem. No? So, usual, mga common yan. Now, in case naman na nakalimutan niyo kung paano i-solve yan, madali na lang yan. Actually, no, kung pinag-uusapan talaga natin is board exam. So, board exam, kapatid, once you encountered a problem wherein the equation is already given, madali na po yun, ano? Basta given ang equation sa mathematics, kayang-kaya na nating i-solve yan. Kung makalimutan mo man i-solve ng diretso, so you may solve it using what? Yung paborito ninyo. Sigurado ako, kakilala niyo yan. No? Pwede naman kayong gumamit ng reverse engineering. Sigurado ako, no? Kayang-kaya niyo yan, kapatid. No? You may use reverse engineering for this given matter in case nahirapan ka dyan. Okay? So, iwanan ko si number 5. Lakihan ko ng konti para makita natin yung problem number 6. Yan. Number 6. If the given equation of x and y, no, determine x plus y. So, i-rewrite ko rito para mas makita. So, ganito si number 6. Okay, so for problem number 6, so if the value of a known variable x is equal to square root 72 plus square root of 72 plus square root of 72 plus so on and so forth. So, pag sinabi natin so on and so forth, so the given equation continues indefinitely. So, tuloy-tuloy yan. So, hindi siya matatapos. Same also with y. So, y naman has a given equation equal to square root of 90 minus square root of 90 minus square root of 90. So, putulin ko na lang, minus so on and so forth. So, also, no, it continues indefinitely. So, tuloy-tuloy yan, napakaraming square root. So, hinahanap lang ng problem, what would be the value of what? No? So, try to determine the value of x plus y. So, anong value ng ating x plus y? So, tulad ng binanggit ko, sa board exam, kapag binigyan ka ng equation na ganyan, ay bonus yan. You may directly compute it using your calculator. Kasi sigurado naman tayo na kuhang-kuha or kaya ng calculator yung square root. However, for the sake of computations and discussion, so how we could simplify this equation? So, our aim, we have to remove at least one. No? We have to remove at least one of the given value out of the square root sign. Magtanggal tayo ng isang value doon sa square root. So, in order to remove the square root, so kabaligtad ng square root, so we have to square both sides. So, let's say sa first equation, square natin yan. So, after squaring the first equation, i-rewrite ko rito, ano magiging equation natin, ano? So, it will resolve into x squared equal. So, natanggal na yung isang square root. We have now only 72 plus. However, andun pa rin yung napakaraming square root of 72 plus square root of 72 plus so on and so forth. Okay? Same also, no? O, dyan na muna tayo, no? So, nakakuha lang tayo ng isang square root. However, nandito pa rin ito. Andyan pa rin yan. Eh, sino ba yan? Try to compare this equation, no? This equation and this equation are what? Ano sila? Yes, similar. If they are similar, which means this value is simply what? X. Tama ba? So, what do I mean? Sir, kumuha na kayo ng isa. Bakit ganun pa rin siya? Now, since the equation is continuous indefinitely, so tuloy-tuloy yan, napakarami. So, parang sinabi lang natin, kumuha ka ng isang hibla ng buhok mo, no? So, kumuha ka ng isang buhok mo o isang hibla ng buhok mo. So, kahit nakakuha ka ng isa, definitely, walang significant difference na nangyari. Tama ba? Dahil isa lang ang kinuha mo at napakarami nun, depende na lang kung nakakalbo ka na talaga, no? So, makakita mo yung difference. Pero since, no, kung medyo marami-rami ka pang buhok at kumuha ka lang ng isa, so although kumuha ka ng isa, wala tayong makikitang significant difference before and after. So, ganun na nangyari dito. Although kumuha tayo ng isa, and since the equation is continuous indefinitely, there is no significant difference before and after we remove 172 out of the given equation. Kaya yung natitira, it will serve still as what? X. So in that case, kuha na natin, after squaring the equation, we have now quadratic equation. X squared is equal kanina? 72 plus what? X. So we have x squared minus x minus 72 equal, uy, lumiit lang. Lumiit na naman siya. Na double tap. Pag nado-double tap, lumiliit. Okay? So, minus 72 equal 0. So, we have now quadratic equation. So, what are now the two possible value of x? Ano yung possible value of x? So, what is the factor of 72 when added? Negative 1. No? Parang ganun siya, no? So, factor of 72 or negative 72 when added is negative 1. So, that is 9 and 8. So, 9 and 8. So, negative 9 and 8. So, pag tinranspose, tama ba? Kindly counter-check kung tama ba yung aking pagkakakompute. So, there are two values. Isang positive 9 at saka isang negative 8. No? Kindly solve using your quadratic equation. You have x squared minus x minus 72. So, the factor is negative x minus 9, then x plus 8. Tama lang. So, you have x equal to 9, then x equal to negative 8. So, we have now the value of our x. Same approach applied to our y. Now, ganun din. So, para makuha natin si y, same approach, square natin ito. Okay? After nating i-square, so dito ko na lang ilalagay yung kanyang solution. So, after squaring, we have now the equation of y equal kanino? Oh, wala. Equals, sir, 9 minus 8 is positive 1. Yeah, in terms of factor, so the factor of x squared minus x minus 72, so that is x minus 9 and x plus 8, which is equal to 0. So if you get the roots equated to 0, so you have x is positive 9, then x is negative 8. So 9 times 8 is 72. So dito ko ilalagay ito siya, no? So if I'm going to factor this one, this is x minus 9 and this is x plus 8. There you go. Yun. So factor of negative 72, negative 9 times 8 is negative 72. But when you add negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. So you have the factor. So getting the roots. So you have 9 and 8. Okay? Then this is 90 minus. So same approach. So I don't have to rewrite again the equation, which conclude now after squaring, the remaining will be still y. Okay? Nawala yung squared ko. So y squared equal 90 minus y. So rearrange it. Y squared plus y equal tuloy minus 90 equals 0. So again, factor of negative 90 when added is positive 1. So that is positive 10 and negative 9. So you have y9 is positive 9. Then another is negative 10. Now to get the roots. So there you have it. We have now the two values for x and y. So we can now check which among those value is available to our choices. So obviously, If x is 9, no? Let us consider if x is equal to 9, so you have x plus y possible. This is 18. That is the first. Then the other, x plus y. If y is negative 10, so this is negative 1. Now, if x is negative 8, so you have x plus y. This should be 1. Then x plus y, this should be negative 18. So, four possible answer. 1 is 18, negative 1, positive 1, and you have negative 18. So we have only one possible answer available on the choice, which is positive 18. So therefore, this should be the possible answer. So we have arriba. Okay? Nakuha ba kapatid? Any question regarding that particular problem? So that is in terms of quadratic equation. So there are a lots of problem, no? Minsan, no, tinatakot lang tayo. So parang in terms of expressions napakahirap, but actually if you try to analyze them, it is very easy to solve, no? Napakadali nilang i-solve. For example, kapatid, ano? Some of them, let's say, no? Determine the product x minus a multiplied by x minus b, right? So that is just a product of two binomial. We could actually simplify that. Now, if I'm going to add another multiplier, x minus c, we could actually get still its given value. That is only trinomial. If I'm going to add another factor, x minus d, we could still solve it since that is just quadrinomial. However, if I'm going to add another one, e, can we solve this one? Yes, we could still solve it, but it's very long equation. That is already fifth order. Now, if I'm going to continue the sequence up to x minus z, what is the answer? Paki-comment nga. What would be the possible value for this simple multiplication of binomial? Sige nga kapatid, kindly comment. 5 seconds. Ano sagot niyan kapatid? Any question regarding that? Tanong. Anong sagot? Sige nga kapatid, kindly answer this value. Sige lang, try nyo lang. Anong sagot? Plus 5 sa board exam, ano? Anong sagot dyan kapatid? Sige nga, kindly comment kung ano yung nakuha nyo sagot. X minus a times x minus b times x minus c times x minus d times x minus e, so on and so forth. So continuous up to x minus z is equal to what value? Sige nga kapatid, kindly comment. Anong value yan? Ayun. Yes, very good. Why? That's the answer. Why, Mr. Mahmoud? Why it is 0? Yeah, that's correct. What is the idea or what is the principle or the logic behind that? Why is it 0? Yeah, your answer is correct. So that is 0. Why it's 0? Why it's 0? Do you have idea why it became 0? Why it's 0? Yes, that's correct. That is 0. But dahil sa x minus x, sir? Yes. Yes, very good. Because if you try to analyze A, B, C, D, E, therefore, there would be an instant we will arrive into x minus x. Any number subtract by itself, that is what? 0. Any number multiplied by 0, so that is always what? 0. You see? So there are lots of problem na in terms of expression, very difficult, no? Very difficult in terms of expression, but actually if you try to analyze it, napakadali lang i-solve. So, napakadali nilang i-solve. Okay? So, may tanong ba kay problem number 6? Any question regarding problem 6? Walang tayong tanong doon? So, pwede ko nang iwanan, ano? So, let us go to another set of questions. Meron ba rito? Lipat ko doon sa kabila. There you go. Asan kayo? Ayun. Lumitaw. Lakihan ko lang. Okay. So, let us try number 7. So, for problem number 7, since we have already on the quadratic equation, so let us try to solve for number 7. In the equation of x squared minus kx plus 9 equals 0, find the value of k so that the roots are equal. So, for problem number 7, alam natin that given equation, it is actually known as the quadratic equation. So, balikan lang natin, no? Let us just recall yung ating quadratic equation. So, ano yung standard form ng ating quadratic? So, you have ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, wherein a, b, and c are just coefficient and constant. So, we have quadratic equation. No, the equation is said to be quadratic if the highest exponent is just simply 2. No, highest exponent is 2. So, under quadratic equation, we usually determine what are the possible value of our unknown variable in order to satisfy that given equation, or simply the roots of that quadratic equation. Roots of equation represent the values of the unknown variable that would satisfy that given equation. In order to get the roots of quadratic equation, we try to use a formula, no, yung ating tinatawag na quadratic formula. Ano yung quadratic formula na yon, kapatid? Naalala? Now, to solve for the roots of the equation, we try to use the quadratic formula, which is equal kanino. To solve for the roots, now x, it is always equal kanino. You have negative b plus or minus square root of what? B squared minus 4ac. Nakadivide lahat yan kanino? 2a, no? So, that is our quadratic equation or quadratic formula. So, we try to use this equation to solve for the value of its roots. No? 2a. Although, alam naman natin, high-tech na yung calculator, kayang-kaya yan. Ano? So, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. However, the most important part of this given equation, yung ating discriminant. No? Sino nga ba yung discriminant natin? Discriminant, that is the value of b squared minus 4ac. So, using the discriminant of our equation, we could actually determine what are the behavior of the roots of our quadratic equation, or what are the possible roots of the quadratic equation. So, sino-sino yun, ano? So, naalala pa siguro, if b squared minus, oh, open ito. Lumiit. Naalala pa yung behavior ng ating discriminant, kapatid? Naalala pa yung ating discriminant behavior? Sino yun? If b squared minus 4ac is equal kanino? 0. Anong klaseng roots meron tayo? So, roots are what? Real and equal, ano? So, roots are real and equal. So, if that is greater than 0, discriminant is greater than 0, so the roots we are expecting are still real and unequal. Still real number but unequal in value. However, if less than 0, which is negative, anong klaseng roots meron tayo? The roots are what? Ang tawag natin doon, you have complex and conjugate. Pag sinabi natin complex, ano ba nire-represent ng complex number? Complex number, that is the combination of real number and imaginary, ano? So, if the discriminant is less than 0, so the given roots are complex and imaginary or complex and conjugate. Complex number is a combination of real and imaginary. Now, if B is 0, so let's say the first degree term is not available, so the given roots, so the roots are pure imaginary. So, binalikan lang natin yan. Those are the property of the roots of our quadratic equation. So, therefore, hinahanap lang ng problem 7, lagay natin dito. Required, andyan naman yung problem. Ano value ng k in the given equation at roots are equal? So, sabihin natin, si x1 is equal to x2. So, alam natin at real and equal, b squared minus 4ac should be equal kanino? 0. If we try to get the different value of constant based on the quadratic equation, a is simply 1, b is simply negative k, and c, that is simply 9. So, if we try to substitute to the given discriminant, so you have negative k squared minus 4, 1 multiplied 9 equal kanino? 0. So, obviously, k now, that is equal kanino? Plus or minus square root of 36, that is 6, no? 4 times 9 is 36. So, square root nun, k is just simply plus or minus 6. So, that should be our final answer. Anong letter yan, kapatid? No? This is Arriba. Okay, nakuha ba? Any question regarding that particular problem? May tanong ba tayo doon? That is only the roots of our quadratic equation. Pagdating sa board exam, roots of quadratic equation or quadratic equation, it is actually bonus problem. Kasi isa yan, no? That is one of the mathematical equation na very familiar tayo and we usually analyze that particular equation. We usually encounter most of the time quadratic equation. So I'm pretty much sure that we are very much familiar in dealing with quadratic equation. So iwanan ko si number 7, kapatid, ha? If you have questions, just comment, no? Nakikita ko naman dito. So nagpo-pop up sa akin yung mga comment niyo para mabigyan ko agad ng pansin. So huwag kayo mahiya magtanong, kapatid. No, kayo lang din naman diyan. No? So ako para hirap talaga ng ano, no? parang sirang plaka lang, ano. Ako lang dito mag-isa sa kwarto tapos ako lang salita ng salita. Dati pagka nakita kang ikaw lang nagsasalita, sabihin sa'yo, sira ulo, ano? Nasisiraan na. Ngayon, pag nagsasalita ka mag-isa, either may kausap kang cellphone or kailangan mo magtrabaho. Okay. Buti naman doon sa amin sa office ay may kasama akong isang staff. May kasama akong staff para in case may kailangan ako, may uutusan ako. Kailangan ko ng tubig, pagkain, so may kasama ako. Dito ako lang mag-isa. Yung aking pamilya ay nandun sa kabilang room. May baby kasi ako 4 months old Kaya nandun sila sa kabilang room. Baka mamaya umiyak dito yung iyak na lang ng baby ko yung marinig ninyo. Okay, sa na tayo? Number 8. Find the value of h in the given quadratic equation so that the sum of the roots is 2. Sum of the roots, property of the roots. So, paano ba kunin, ano? So, we have two property. So, paano ba kunin yung sum of the roots? So, we have two, no? Property. Lagay na dito. Property of roots of quadratic equation. Dalawa lang naman yan, kapatid. So, if you try to multiply, so consider, no, x1 and x2, that is the roots of quadratic equation. So, x1 times x2, so product of the roots, it is actually always equal sa ratio nung C over A. So, sino yung C over A? So, eto yon, no? Yung mga coefficient at saka constant doon sa ating quadratic equation. So, even without getting the roots, if you're asked to get the product, so you just divide C by A. You have the product of the roots. Now, dalawa lang naman yan. If you get the sum, x1 plus x2, this is actually the negative ratio of B over A. So, yun naman. Sum of the roots is negative B over A. So, actually, based on the property of the roots, no, if we try to get either x1 or x2, you have two equation. Pag sinimplified natin yan, kapatid, eto yon. Anong ibig ko sabihin, dyan sa property ng roots, doon po na-derive itong ating quadratic formula. Diyan lang na-derive yan. If you try to get the value of x1 or x2, so using that two equation, so simplify them, itong lalabas sa atin. That is the quadratic formula. Okay? So based on our quadratic equation, I just rewrite here for problem number 8. So the quadratic equation is 2x squared minus h x squared plus 4h tuloy, 4x rather, minus or plus 5h equal 0. Okay? So, hinahanap lang ng problem required. What is the unknown constant h? Anong condition? At x1 plus x2 is equal kanino? 2. Okay? So, para ma-solve natin yan, let us get the value of a. Sino yung a? Yung kasama ng x squared. So, we have 2. That is 2 minus h, no? Kasama ng ating x squared. So, if we try to factor out x squared, no, factored out mo sa x squared, yun ang lalabas. Our b, that is simply 4. No, yun lang kailangan natin. Therefore, sum of the roots, x1 plus x2, which is actually negative b over a. So, sub natin, I have negative 4 over, oh, what happened? Na double tap. Yan ko lang, kapatid. Yo, anong nangyari? Ayun. This is negative 4 over 2 minus h, which is based on problem, that is only 2. So, let us just cross multiply. We have negative 4 equal, you have 4 minus what? 2h. So, transpose. So, we have 2h. It is now equal kanina? 8. Tama, kapatid? So, we conclude h now, it is simply equal kanina? 4. Yun na yung final answer natin. So, meron ba? Lipat ko tuloy. Ayun. No? So, we have H, the constant H, it should be positive 4. Anong letter yan, kapatid? The letter is simply arriba. Okay? Nakuha ba? Any question regarding that particular problem? May tanong ba tayo, kapatid? Any question? May tanong ba tayo? Any question? So, 5:30 na rin ano. So, merienda muna tayo ha. Let us have a short break. Mag-break muna tayo before ko ituloy dun sa sumunod na problem. Mga 15 to 20 minutes will do, no? Before tayo magtuloy. Hindi ko naman puputulin, hindi ko i-end yung ating or para ma-save siguro yung ano nyo, i-end ko muna ito tapos maggawa ulit ako ng panibagong link, ano? Now, after the break, mag-send ulit ako ng panibagong link para hindi tuloy-tuloy yung inyong consumption ng data sa Zoom. Okay? Pero after the break, so siguro since 5:30 and 6 o'clock, resume tayo. Okay lang? Okay lang sa inyo? 6 o'clock, resume tayo para makapag-merienda or makapag-early dinner kayo before tayo magtuloy, ano? Okay? Sige, no? I-end ko lang ito. But before 6 o'clock, so mag-open ako ng panibagong link, no, para i-resume natin. Okay? So, sige kapatid, break muna tayo, no? Merienda muna tayo before tayo mag-continue. Sige.